This is the Always Direct podcast, and we talk with movers and shakers of this world to learn about the ups and downs they went through to get where they are now. Let's get started with the show.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Rayan, and I'm the host of the Always Direct podcast, where I talk to top movers and shakers in different business industries. I ask a lot of direct questions about their success journey. And we are here today with Mark Skala. And today we are sponsored by two companies, both in which I actually own. So I just want to let that be known. I'm not being sponsored by outsiders. Paparazzi.com. So if you're interested in running your own pizzeria, perhaps you should consider franchising with Paparazzi franchise, paparazzi.com. Or if you own a restaurant in the country, the United States, you want to consider using direct mail to market your business. Direct mail or digital marketing, please contact alwaysdirectmail.com. Never underestimate the power of direct mail. Unless you're talking to Mark Skala, who's my guest today, who has a very amazing company called Skalawag Productions. They help food and beverage brands create consistent, effective video content that moves people to take action. In the end of the day, video storytelling is huge, and that's what you do. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Oh man, living the dream, the COVID dream, baby. Yeah. So tell me about how you got into this, because you look kind of young. We're both kind of young, actually.
Yeah. You kind of fall into it, right? You develop a passion for something, and then you figure out a way to attack it, and then you keep going, and good things happen. And bad things happen, right? All together, especially through 2020 as context for everybody. I've been in video production for about 12 years now. I came out of school to mark my age in 2008. Not a great time to graduate from college, and had to figure out what the future held for me. So I started. I didn't go to film school. I have a degree in multimedia. So I was always engaged in lots of different digital content, digital avenues, from photography, video, web design and development, the whole gamut. And video was always sort of my passion, and sort of started to follow that. Right after college, I incorporated as a business to do freelance work and try to make some money that way. I did everything from web design, bad web design, to video, whatever people would pay me to do, I would do. At some point, I was able to get a full-time job at Northwestern University, and I was working, and then ended up running an academic video production shop there, all while sort of building my business on the side. And then in 2015, made the leap. Here we are now. We've got 4 employees, and cooking with gas, if you will, and feeling pretty good about our prospects for the future.
Good. Yeah, I mean, so does Skalawag Productions? So it says here, consistent and effective video content. Now, I did review your website, and so when it says consistent, does that mean, do you take on clients that want to make multiple videos throughout the year, like consistently, or do you how often do you make your average client restaurant? How many videos per year are they making, or how many videos per month? Give me an idea how that works. What's your best clients doing, or your average clients?
It really depends on where everyone's at. This year's obviously a little bit of an anomaly, but
forget about this. This is the most effed up thing. Don't even talk. This year, it's like a black hole. Don't even talk about it. Let's talk about 19 and before. Okay.
Love it.
All right.
Every brand is different in terms of how much content they want to create, whether volume or complexity or specific single deliverables is sort of in their purview. When it comes to average videos, like how many you do per year, we have sort of 2 tracks for our clients. We have clients that want to do a single campaign or a single video, and then we have clients that have a need to create content all the time. So they're on a subscription model with us, right? So those are the 2 tracks, and our goal is to, in everything we do, be super holistic and goals driven when it comes to figuring out what they need. Because what happens is a client comes to us and says, I need a video. I say, well, why do you need a video? And they go, because video is the thing to do. And that's a terrible reason to spend a bunch of money on video. And so it's our job to figure out exactly what are you trying to accomplish with video, because video is a part of your marketing strategy, should be a part of your marketing strategy, but it is not your marketing strategy. It's not a replacement for it. So we have brands that we work with, CPG brands, snack brands that are doing hundreds of videos a year. And we have other brands that we do one video a year for, because they have whether it's like, oh, we need to tell a story about a certain initiative we have. We need to explain how one of our products works, things like that. And, for us, we don't work a ton with restaurants individually. Now, I'm super passionate about hospitality industry in general. But, in terms of who our clients are, we're working with a lot of snack brands, a lot of food and beverage brands, especially with the emergence of e-commerce right now. That's been where a lot of our digital content is going. And it's just a matter of how do we help any client, whether it is a restaurant or a bigger brand, achieve what they're looking to do, and help them develop a strategy behind that versus just putting videos out there randomly and hoping someone, buys them.
Yeah. You know what? Making a video content is freaking hard, man.
Yeah, it is. Most people find that out at some point. Yeah.
I've been there, done that. Are you kidding me? You've heard of chamber media, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I called them one time, but so this is going to get us into pricing. All right. So I called them one time and I said, so they had they got me because I'm in the restaurant business, so they sent me like a Facebook ad and it got to me, of course. And they're just good at making funny videos, really funny videos. So I said, let me call them up. Let's see how much it costs. Holy shit. So then I said, bullshit. I'm not going to, excuse my language. I'm not going to pay anybody a lot of money. That was crazy money. I said, I sent my wife an email. I said, Mirna, watch all these videos. We got to recreate these for our Papa Razor, she knows how to do a little video editing. She's pretty decent at that. And I figure I'm pretty funny. I think I'm funny, which nobody else thinks I'm funny. Right. So anyway, I started looking it up, video boarding and all. So I came up with a couple of different concepts we started doing, and it was just the timing. I don't know what it is. It was just what am I doing? This is way harder than it looks. So yeah, I give you mad respect for what you do. I saw your videos. They're really clean, really good. I didn't see too many funny ones because I didn't look at all of them, but I don't know if you do any comedy ones. Do you?
Yeah, we do. It just depends on the client and what the needs are. Sometimes humor is the way to go. It's actually a part of the company that I think we're really strong at, but we don't get to flex as much as we'd like to. We did just produce a 3-hour fake telethon for a brewery in Brooklyn. That was bananas crazy and the craziest thing anyone's paid me money to do ever. But so it just depends.
Was it fun? Wait, was it fun though?
It was super fun. It was super fun. And so again, for us, from a business perspective, it's all about finding those good partners that trust you and sort of value what you're doing. And also part of it is understanding that it's not all fun and games. I think my job is fun, and I think we have a lot of fun doing what we do because we're really passionate about it. But it's not, as you said, it's not easy. And so it's a matter of finding people that really have a specific idea or goal in mind, and us being entrusted with that to execute it and make sure that it's a success, however they define success.
So Mark, let me tell you, so one of the reasons, so I've been in the pizza business. I've opened 9 restaurants personally. I'm talking from cleaning out the garbages to hiring everybody. I mean, the whole shebang bang. I mean, I am in it. All right. Now I don't have any restaurants right now. I just own the company and I support. And I have my brother, he runs one and he helps me out a lot. But my point is that the restaurant business I have found has been direct mail marketing, which is why I started direct mail marketing company, is because direct mail for carry out delivery places kicks ass. Okay. People can make fun of it all they want. And people do. No, I don't know. Yeah. You don't probably, right?
Yeah. No, I have an interesting opinion on that.
Tell me about your interesting opinion, because it's very important, because people think, oh, video, and video is huge. I'm a big believer in it. And I have lots of videos to support that. However, it doesn't replace direct mail at all. Direct mail people make orders. Video is storytelling. I don't know. It just makes people, you don't watch a video and pick up a phone and call the pizza place,
right,
but you don't forget them.
Right.
So when it's time to order, you go to the menu in the drawer.
Exactly. And that's the sort of thinking about marketing as a holistic strategy practice almost is where a lot of people fall, because they rule out things that are not trendy or new, like video. And I would not call video a trend at this point. I think video is pretty ironed in as a pillar of what you want to be doing as a business, but it also depends what market or business you're in. And you're absolutely right that I think direct mail marketing, and there's a book called The One-Page Marketing Plan that I think is a really great book. And they actually have a chapter in there called all about direct mail marketing and how people, again, like you said, people think it's like a silly thing to do now, but actually it's one of the most effective things you can do for certain sectors of the market. And so I'm a big believer in that. And for me, direct mail might not be a good way to advertise my business, but for, like you said, a carry out takeout place, the perfect way, because you're in front of people's eyes. And so when you think about marketing as a whole, you're talking about at the very most simple funnel of a marketing funnel, you have brand awareness, you have interest and consideration, and you have conversion, right? That's like the simplest marketing funnel you can buy or sales funnel, right?
Yeah.
And each thing can be good at different things, right? And depending on what action you want your customer to perform, different tools and assets are good to do that. And so in your case, like someone who's maybe heard of Papa Ray's or another brand who gets a flyer in the mail, this is a direct interest consideration purchase piece where it may drive them that coupon. Oh, you know what? I want pizza. Boom. I'm going to go do this coupon right now. Whereas if you're trying to get your name out there, that also could be a pay piece, but it also could be maybe people are really interested in the story of how the restaurant started or the struggles that it took to get there, the entrepreneurial journey. And that's another area where you're right. They're not going to pick up the phone and order right away, but it is in their mind and they're thinking about it. They're dreaming about it, things like that. And so there's benefits for all of these different strategies and tools. You just have to, I think the biggest thing that people miss is having a strategy. You know what I mean? And they just want to plug in different things to fix their problems when really what they need to do is sit down and think about what is going to move my customer through this funnel. And for different businesses, there's different answers.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you're an expert in your field. I mean, you're definitely, and you're right. Well, listen, you said something very important. A lot of people, they stick to what they know and are afraid to change into what they don't know. Or people are so into the brand new that they don't realize that some of the fundamentals are like, don't reinvent the wheel. Okay, yeah, you can dibble and dabble in Twitter and YouTube and Facebook. Don't get me. I'm not saying don't, but don't forget how most of these businesses were founded through direct mail, through print material. People, even millennials, believe it or not, and Gen Zs and Gen Xs, they like print. They feel like it's more there's more authority to it. There's a study on it that shows that when they have it in their hands, they feel like it's more realistic, more real, as opposed to a lot of the fake stuff that's online. Because you have to constantly decipher who's lying to you and who's not. What's a scam and what's not. You become, what is that called when you just shut down? You just stop thinking about it. You're like, you assume everything's bullshit, and the one that comes in the mail, something physical in your hand, it has a lot more legitimacy. Well,
and it forces you to make a choice. Whereas when you're scrolling, you're not necessarily making a choice. And so if you're looking at one or the other, I have to either throw this away or I have to keep it.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to that. And actually that's part of the strategy behind video in some ways, especially with online advertising, is how do I get people to start to make a choice? How do I get them to make a choice to stop scrolling? And that's where like humor and things that are wacky or inventive or whatever can sort of play into the same idea. And this is why, at the end of the day, all marketing is the same. It's just different tools, different approaches.
You're damn right about that. So let me ask you a tough question. I think it's tough. I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this question. So because a lot of our clients for Always Direct Mail, alwaysdirectmail.com, most of them are pizzerias. Okay. Majority of them are pizzerias. We have some Mexican restaurants. We have some grooming shops. We have some, auto repair, places that do oil changes. We all kinds of law companies, R&R law group. But majority of pizzerias. How would you market a pizzeria? Would you go after the heart wrenching? Where like, oh, this is the story of how grandma came with the sauce, or would you do more comedy?
I might not do either.
Tell me, what would you do?
So each again, I have to say that each business is different, and so the approach really does depend on the context of the business and where they're getting sales, what demographics, things like that do play into how you approach how to target people. And let's just talk in the scope of online advertising, social media advertising, things.
Most of my clients and most people I deal with do not have the understand. They don't even they're not as sophisticated as that. You know, they really, that's true. Even I would say some of myself, I'm like, demographics, everybody likes pizza. We all like pizza, old, young, fat, skinny, everybody likes pizza. It's not really as narrowed down as it would be. But so what were you going to say after that?
So essentially, I mean, my first gut instinct on sort of businesses in that sort of sphere would be, what's working in your marketing strategy right now, right? So if that is direct mail advertising, if we know that that's true, how do we apply the same principles to that, from that, to online digital advertising, right? Because there's so many people right now and forever and ever that are just doing this. They're taking their devices and they're going like this all day. You know, how do I get those people to stop scrolling? How do I get people to, how can I target people to figure out what their interests are so I know if they're a good, ideal customer of mine? And like most people like me, that's a pretty universal situation. How do I take concepts of what's working over here that is giving me a positive ROI and apply it over here to digital advertising, whether that's with video or static imagery? I'm a big fan of being holistic in general, which I think I will say a million times on this podcast, because it's all about starting with what's working right now, how do we expand it? And then once we're seeing sort of a general positive situation, how do we then scale it? Rather than just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks, being very methodical about it. So what I would do is I would not be doing a story. I would not be doing any of that. I would first focus on what's working in my direct mail advertising campaign. It's probably delicious pizza visuals and deals. So that's what I would do. I would go right there with digital advertising. How can I get people to, one thing you can do, and this is probably something not everyone in the audience knows, is if you have an email database of all your clients, which if you're not doing right now for a takeout or carry out delivery service, you need to stop what you're doing and figure out how to do email marketing, because that's the next step in the journey, right? And like, how can I start to target customers that already buy from me? You can create lookalike audiences on Facebook advertising. And yes, this requires some knowledge and things like that, but you can find people on Upwork and freelance sites or hire, we don't do the media buy advertising part of it, but like you can hire people that specialize in targeting and put whatever content you have, whether it be image stills, if you don't have a budget, or if you want to go something a little bit more visual, pizza pulls, things like that. You can buy stuff like that, showcasing deals, all that. You can target people that are already your target customers. You can build a lookalike audience based on their email and phone numbers. Facebook will find those people and generate people that are just like them or likely to like the same things that they do. And you can just expand your geographical audience like that immediately. And so it's like, how do I take what's working, scale it, whether it's scale it in volume or scale it across media.
Okay. So let me recap what you just said. So the past 2 months, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on is because the past 2 months, I have a video for paparaispizza.com, and I created banner ads, which banner ads are kind of a waste of money if you do them alone. But if you do them in conjunction with a geographical area where you're doing direct mail marketing as well, plus YouTube video ads and Facebook, Instagram still ads, which match the banner ads, I figure all together in the same geographical area, repetition is king, right or wrong? Okay.
Yeah, it can be. It does depend, but yes, let's just say yes.
Yeah. Don't let me forget this. I want to ask you, how do you track to see what's working, what's not working? Because in the end of the day, it's about orders, right? So just don't let me forget that. So we just started a new program with Always Direct Mail where we're doing direct mail, still ads for Facebook, Instagram, and Google banner ads. And then we're also doing video on top of it. So we're doing 10 weeks of direct mail, 10 weeks of banner ads, Instagram and Facebook, and then we're doing 10 ads of YouTube videos, all in the same area. So like, we're just trying to hit them in 3 different ways. What do you think about that?
I think that's good.
Okay. I did not think about using the Facebook audience. I should have been. Yeah, I'm actually going to do that. Off this podcast, I'm going to call my guy. Yeah, that's good. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Yeah, you're damn right about that. Can you do that for YouTube as well? No.
Pre-roll ads, you can do targeting. I'm not as familiar with how robust their targeting is, but you can definitely do audience targeting. The beauty of Facebook is that you can find the people you already have because they're all on Facebook, and the algorithm can really find who they are and where the profiles are. And then it's great. It's crazy. It really is.
I know.
The biggest thing is no boosted posts. Everyone who's doing boosted posts right now, stop pissing money away.
Why?
It is not the way basically that Facebook's algorithm works right now is, I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone. I don't mean that it's a total.
This is why we're here. Let's piss people off. Come on.
Okay, yeah. So essentially, when you put up a social media post as a business on Facebook, about 2% of your audience sees it. If you boost it, maybe you boost that to 5% of your audience. The only real way to get, I think the effective way to spend money on Facebook is to do actual Facebook advertising. And I think boosted posts is an option because it's easier and it's a way for Facebook to make more money, but it is not an effective way to gain customers or purchases or ROI for your business. And this is across any business type campaign, whatever. You should be looking at, how do I do actual Facebook advertising campaigns through the Facebook Ads Manager, not through boosted posts.
So when you have your clients create compelling, storytelling videos, do you recommend them to go on YouTube or Facebook or both or Instagram? What would be like your top three?
Well, see, there's no one size. This is why I'll tell you why video is a pain in the ass and it's hard for people to understand. It's because there's no one size fits all strategy or piece of content. It is all custom. Every single thing and every single strategy is a custom type of situation. So when you're talking about who should I be, where should I be, it's where is your audience or what do you want to build an audience? And those are the two factors that I'd consider. So if your audience is on YouTube all the time, is on Facebook all the time, that's where you should go. If you're a brand that appeals to younger generations, you should be on TikTok. You should be on the things that those people are using. Because you can't, just because you're on Facebook and that's where you're comfortable, doesn't mean that everyone who buys from you is. Now with pizza, I think it's pretty obvious that you'll have a lot of success. You could have a lot of success on Facebook. TikTok is not necessarily the way to go.
Well, I might say, yeah, you're probably right about that. But TikTok is, if you make funny videos, TikTok might be.
It can. That's the hard part. Is anything can work. But the myth of the viral video is something to be sort of cautioned to everybody. Viral videos are manufactured. They are not. There's very rare circumstances in which viral videos are actually spontaneously viral these days. They're all manufactured. Yeah. Isn't
the definition of viral video is that actually went viral accidentally? Like accidentally just caught on fire?
That's how it used to be. And occasionally that still happens, but the majority of viral videos are planned and methodically managed and strategized to become viral.
Interesting. Okay. So can we talk pricing?
Yeah.
Let's talk pricing. I looked on your website. I couldn't find pricing.
Yeah.
Now you do all of the Chicagoland area. Do you go out of state?
Yeah, we do national and international. It just depends on the year. This year, obviously, we haven't done a ton of national. We haven't done a ton of traveling this year, which is odd for us, frankly.
So you're national, international. It doesn't matter where you go anywhere, as long as it makes sense for everybody. You go.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about where you don't have to travel, somewhere in the Chicagoland region. Let's just say the place is called Papa Ray's Pizza or like, no, I'm just joking. I have another customer called Bella's in Carroll Stream. He's a client of mine, and he's doing 10 weeks of direct mail, 10 weeks of the social media banner ads, still ads, and then 10 weeks of video. I told him I will get somebody out there. I swear to God, this is true, to get somebody out there to go do video. But then I was like thinking, okay, who am I should I get a company or should I hire some like college students that are in, I was just thinking, but I remembered how hard it was for me to do it, who's a very experienced restaurateur. Like, I feel like everybody thinks, oh, stand-up comedy. I can do stand-up comedy. That doesn't seem that hard. And then you're like, holy shit, this is a nightmare. I don't know what I was thinking, which I actually did one time. I actually got on stage and I never got back up. So yeah, same thing with videography. I have a $1,000 camera here that I don't even know how to use anymore because it's been so long. And I have microphones I have a lot more microphones that hang that I thought I was going to need, but after that one terrible experience, and I'll show you the video when we're not on live, so you can tell me that I made a good decision by retiring. But so for Bella's, I want to make a 30-second clip, 30-second video that we can say that will go on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media things, and be used for getting people to pick up the phone or go online and place orders. How much would you charge a customer that doesn't require you to travel? 30-second video or I don't know how long. How long is the average video for a restaurant? 30, 60?
That's the thing. These days, there is no average. It depends what you're trying to do. If you're trying to get people to buy, if you're showing them a traditional commercial, story-based commercial, or if you're just showing them deal, it could be as short as 6, as long as a minute. It just depends on what the approach is. You know?
Okay, fast casual pizzeria. What would you take control of the situation? What would you recommend?
Yeah, no, for pricing, what I tell people, and this is at the beginning going to be disappointing, and then I'll try to give you a number. What I tell people is every single video is
unique,
custom situation. And so a good analogy that I use a lot is if you go to a general contractor and be like, build me a house. Okay. What do you want? Do you want marble countertops or do you want laminate? Do you want hardwood floors or do you want carpet? All of these things that involve cost different prices. And so one of the annoying things about working with a general contractor is you don't really know what the final cost is. You just say, well, my budget's sort of like in between here and here. Okay, I can work with that. Let me figure out what I want to do. So that is the struggle that we have when pricing video. So if we were to look at sort of like the bare bones type of our pricing structure, a 30-second commercial, whether it's on digital, whether it's on broadcast, could be anywhere from $2,500 to $250,000. Okay, so right, that's a pretty large range. It's not
the 2,500 makes sense actually, but the 250. I mean, I guess if you have a whole stadium full of people, right?
Well, so like again, do you need Sylvester Stallone and his stunt double? Do you need Evel Knievel doing motorcycle tricks? Do you need a cinema camera crane coming down, or do you need someone to pick up some B-roll and do some motion graphics and give you an ad, right? And so that's one of the things to think about. Now, for us, like we typically start working on projects in the range of $5,000 and above. Now, it really for us is all about partnership and how can we find a way to bring value. If I don't feel like I can bring value to you, I'm going to find someone else who can. And so if it's not in our tier, I can find that freelancer that I trust and I've vetted. And if you trust me, you're going to trust this person, right?
Sure.
So that's how I approach business. So for us, we have our baseline offering, like the cheapest thing you can do with us is called the Snack Starter Pack. And basically what it is an opportunity. It's geared towards CPG brands, snack brands that are startups in the startup phase. And it gives them basically a 3-pack of 15-second digital ads that showcase their product's unique advantages in different ways. And it's a way for them to start experimenting with Facebook advertising, social media advertising, YouTube pre-roll ads, all the digital content advertising you can do right now, and get a feel for it, see what works. And then my goal is I've provided enough value to you. As you grow, you're going to come back to me for advice or as a trusted partner. And then eventually you'll have a budget that will work for what we really want to be doing. But it's a way for us to, I can kind of control what we do. It's all in our studio. We shoot a bunch of tabletop work and it's super high quality and it's fun and it's different for everyone. But it is a way that I can control different aspects of scope that don't let the price get away from us. Because, cameras, equipment, light, it's expensive to run a video production company. And so that's one of the reasons of many that it's expensive to do video, right? Now, you can always opt for the person who's going to, somebody's nephew who owns a camera and is going to come shoot video for you. Sometimes that works out and sometimes that does not.
It's most of the time. It does not work out.
So, there's things you don't see in pizza commercials and other food commercials, whether it's on the web or on TV, that you don't realize there's 10, 15, 30 people behind the scenes making that stuff happen. If you would not believe what it takes to get a perfect cheese pull on, maybe you do actually, a perfect cheese pull on a pizza on camera, it is not an easy thing to do, which sounds silly to talk about it out loud, but I've tried to do it many times, and you need a lot of hands and a lot of stylists and people to get that perfect shot of the cheese pull.
So let me just stop you right there and tell you what I think it takes, because I've actually done it, and then tell me if that's what you have had to do. You have to use provolone, and you have to use sliced provolone, not the shredded. Slice is huge.
But what happens if it's a fake meat company that, or a meat alternative company that only uses vegan products in their situation?
Oh, wow.
So
I don't even know.
that's where it gets tricky, you know. So that's what. But I think you're absolutely right on the sliced provolone, because that is the key for
right there. Huge. So anybody watching this who's in the pizza business, sliced provolone. If you want to get good shots, sliced provolone is the way to go.
And the other thing, no, I believe it. And then I think the other thing to think about for restaurants specifically, like DIY is not necessarily isn't a bad strategy, especially if it allows you to sort of get your feet wet and how it works and what your audience likes and doesn't. And then you can always scale that. Again, sort of starting small, starting at a reasonable cost to you, whatever that is, because every business has a different cost structure of how they want to sink money into marketing, right? How do I scale that with things that are working?
Yeah, Mark, you're damn right about that. But the truth is, being cheap is an expensive habit. All right. That's what I like to say. It doesn't work. All right. Because what ends up happening is you might have saved $1,000 or $2,000 up front, but the quality of product you have ends up being crap, or you spend money marketing it and boosting it and pushing it out there, and it doesn't create any traction. You're not really sure if it's working. Maybe you like the video. A lot of times owners find what they have, they really enjoy it. Like, oh, I love my video. And then everybody else is like, it's okay. And you're like, what do you mean? This is great. Like, well, look at it. It looks grainy. The food what is that? Is that a Philly cheesesteak? You don't even know what it is. So we like to say, me and my brother and I, being cheap is an expensive habit. Not that you're being cheap. Like you might not have the money, but the first thing people want to cut is marketing. First thing they want to cut is marketing. And I would say that is the last thing you should cut is your marketing. And one of the more, and especially video and direct mail, right? Get the point? Video and direct mail. Never cut video and direct mail. No, but I mean, honestly, video and direct mail is vital. Is vital. I mean, you really can't touch it. And I believe in video big time, because nobody can touch it. I mean, we're all ADD now. If it's not moving quickly, nobody's watching, nobody's paying attention, nobody's reading as much as audiobooks is the thing. Nobody's even reading books that much anymore. I mean, there are people. Do you read?
I actually do both. I am an audiobook and a physical book person.
See? Yeah. How old are you?
34.
34. Yeah. So you're just above that threshold. But these younger,
I'm an old millennial. So
yeah.
I don't have a place in this world. I'm a misfit toy.
You're a misfit. Okay. So I got a question for you. Are you COVID-19? How bad is this screwing you guys up?
I think the word of the year for us is fortunate.
Good.
So we've been able to piece it together. I think part of that is our strategy for our business is really strong. Part of it is luck, and part of it is we've invested heavily in the people that we like to work with, and there's a lot of trust in our partners, like from a client perspective, and they've been really helpful to us, sort of keeping us together. So we've been okay, and there's so many people that are not okay, and we're feeling fortunate. That's it.
Thank God. Good. I'm happy to hear that. So you got a team of people. Where are you located?
We're in Westtown. So we have a studio in Westtown, about like Grand and Damon. It's called the ICNC building. It's like a big, crazy, like 250,000 square foot startup incubator that not a lot of people know about in the city of Chicago, but it's a really cool place to work. We don't get to go there as much because we're all working from home now, except for shooting in the studio. We'll go there for shoots, PPE and hand sanitizer. And it's like a Six Flags mist spray of hand sanitizer when you walk in. And
what's it called?
It's called the ICNC building. It's like Make City Chicago is the initiative. So if you've heard of like the Hatchery, it's like they're like a founding member of the Hatchery.
Do they make movies there? Do they make like?
No, it's not like you're thinking of CineSpace, but they make movies there down on the south side. And yeah. This is on like basically Grand and Damon, right across the street from the Chicago Teachers Union building.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's little known. But it's awesome. It's such a cool community of like young and old companies that are sort of all in this crazy weird space.
So if somebody wanted to do ad space with you, would you do that, or would you like partner with? Do you have a partner that you work with, or how do you? So let's say you make the video, but then you want to actually see the results. Like that if you give it to this client, it's going to get butchered, which is I'm sure a lot of times you're like, holy crap, I cannot let you, I might give you a piece of artwork, but you're going to trash it because you're not going to know what to do with it. Yeah. I need to take control of it. What do you do at that point?
What we do, and we do this from the beginning, which is the one thing that sets us apart from like our video production competition is we, this holistic approach that we talk about is manifested in what we call a strategy workshop. So what we do is from the beginning, before any cameras are rolling or anything like that, we are talking about what are your goals? What action do you want people to perform after watching this video? Or where is it in the sequence of your funnel? We ask all these marketing questions, all of these story-based questions. What are you actually trying to do? Because oftentimes I find people don't know what they're trying to do, and that's not a good way to spend money. So this is a way for all the players to get involved, all the decision makers, and to really understand what it is they're investing a bunch of money in, because I don't want people walking away from my business or our endeavors, our partnership, and saying, man, that was a waste of money. That is like my worst nightmare. And so this is a way to ensure success, however we define it, because that's the important thing is like, what are we trying to achieve? Did we achieve it? That's the biggest thing. And so what it is we do that. That's a $5,000. I'll give you that's our ability to give you a price. It's $5,000 for that workshop, but it goes into the project budget. So there's almost like a no-lose situation. If you're willing to invest in video, that goes into the project budget to sort of contribute to what we're going to be doing. And so in terms of ad spend, we determine where it's going to be airing well before we roll the cameras. There's no deciding afterwards. We are all on the same page. We strategize. And so when it comes to the media buy, if the company doesn't have a infrastructure to support media buying, things like that, we go to some partners that we have, people I know, or sometimes I just recommend, like, here's a couple people we've worked with on Upwork or a freelance website that are really good for this. And you don't have to spend X amount of dollars to work with them, and they will get you started methodically on how to scale this into a right way. And for people that's one thing that people have to realize is like the media buy is not part of creating the content. So when you're thinking about content, that's important. This is why I say like starting small and scaling up is really a good way to start doing this. You can get your feet wet. You can understand some core things. So when you're investing the money, you're more likely to see that ROI that you're looking for. And you have to make sure that the pixels, and because there's a lot of complicated web development stuff that goes into Facebook advertising or any advertising where you actually want to see if people are getting driven. And if they get driven to your website, they're dropping off. Why? Is that a UI issue or UX issue? Is that something else? Is it were they on Internet Explorer 6 and your website doesn't run on IE6? Things like that can sort of make sure you're seeing where things are breaking down in that sales funnel. And that's important, but not every business owner has the acumen to be able to navigate that. So again, finding trusted partners that you can work to sort of be these arms of your business if you've deemed that arm an important one. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Very important. Very, very, very knowledgeable. Very, very impressive. Thank you. I learned something right there. So so have you worked with any pizzerias in the past? Just curious.
No, I don't think so. I'm trying to think. We might have. No, we haven't worked with any direct pizzerias. We've worked with restaurants before, but it hasn't been a huge part of our business just because margins are so tight in the restaurant world, historically.
You're damn right about it. That's every hurdle everybody's trying to get over. So, that's why, like, if you're selling Groupon, right? Groupon videos would make sense, right? Because you make a video, buy this $15, get $30, but it kills pizzerias. It's not good for them. But you can pay for it right away. You click on it, you pay for it, and you don't have to use it right away. It's like buying a gift card. So what's next? Do you think next year is going to go back to normal once the spring comes around?
I think I've learned this year that I can't predict anything, and I shouldn't. But what I will say is the signs right now are pointing to, and really it was right after the election, requests for work started to jump a lot. And I think that was the uncertainty that people were worried about. And I think slowly, even though cases are still rising, the amount of planning for next year is still happening now. Like the floodgates have opened a little bit, and that makes me feel a lot better about prospects for next year for my business, and I think hopefully for a lot of businesses. The restaurant, it's just I don't know what's happening. It's got to be such a hard business for restaurants to figure out or plan anything, because there's just no How do you know?
They just shut down California outdoor dining too.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outdoor dining. They're trying to. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Nobody wants people to see people die, but that's rough.
Yeah. Well, it's just like there's no good choice. It's like virtual or in-person school. Like there's no winning that choice, no matter which way you go. So yeah.
Do you have any kids?
Yeah, I have twin 3-year-olds. So.
Oh wow.
Behind the veil here this is why I have this seamless up, because it's just toys behind.
I'm sure. Yeah, I hope my wife doesn't watch my crap, but let me tell you, if I had to be at home, I would die. Thank God she is so much better than me when it comes to that. Thank God, because right now 2 are on Zoom and one's just, she got to teach her manually, and which is fine. I mean, it's called parenting, but every day, that's rough.
Yeah, no, I feel we're in this weird like purgatory where we still have daycare, and so it's like an in-person in-home daycare, and it's been the best thing in the world. Because
there's a nanny. You mean they come to your house?
No, it's like 5 blocks away from us, and it's like a licensed daycare in somebody's home, but it's small. It's only 5 or 6 kids.
Yeah.
So it's been like the best decision we ever made at this point, and we're very thankful for her, because it is.
Yeah. How much is your sanity worth?
Yeah. She said we need to triple our prices. Like here, I'm going to go get a sack of cash from the bank. Here you go.
Yeah. You know how much they wanted? I live right next to a kiddie academy, and which is a pretty big franchise, and they do a great job. I used to bring one of my kids over there, but to bring all 3 of them there 3 days a week only was like, I think $800 a week. I was like $800 a week. I mean, I'm okay. I make good money, thank God, but I just can't justify that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you don't get a discount for sending. That's what we learned when we had twins. It's like, oh, there's no discount for sending 2. It's just at the same time. It's just So it's you just figure it out. That's it. That's all you can do. You just figure it out.
That's it. That's all you can do. Mark, that's the end of our conversation for the podcast. It's a pleasure meeting you. You're really good conversationalist, my friend. A lot of times it's not easy. It's weird with the Zoom, but you know how to carry a good conversation. And I think I'm very happy to meet you. And I think that we'll be doing business together one day in the future.
I would love that, man. And it was great to meet you as well. And, it is, I understand what it's like to be in the interviewer position. And so I like to make everyone's job easy as much as I can.
Thank you. Once again, Skalawag Productions, Skalawag.com, SKALAWAG.com. Call him, man. Great guy. From what I can tell, awesome reviews and awesome videos. I love it. Don't do it yourself. That's all I got to say, because you will just embarrass yourself. I can contest. Okay. Take care of yourself, Mark. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, John. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Always Direct podcast. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.